Here's how I'm creating my own personal Netflix. So it should be apparent by now that I like physical media. That experience that you get just holding the movie or TV show that you own, flipping through the booklet, and looking at the little goodies that some editions come with is just really cool to me. But physical media can get damaged or break, so people stream instead. Except we live in a time where content constantly rotates on and off of streaming platforms, shows from years ago get episodes banned or partially cut, or in more egregious cases, services remove something that you literally purchased a digital copy of. So instead, I decided to create my own personal media server. And you can do this using a couple of different media server softwares, most notably Plex and Jellyfin. I decided to use Jellyfin because it's open source and completely free. Pretty much what you do is take whatever piece of media you want to rip and toss it into a compatible disk drive. Then use something like MakeMKV to turn it into a lossless video file and have it be placed in the folder that your media server uses. That's pretty much the basics of it. Jellyfin will automatically gather the picture and information for each title that you upload. So now you have a media server that you can remotely access on all of your devices, except this time around, you're the one in control. So you just made your own personal media server with Jellyfin, and now you want to access your library from way out here. Here's how to do that as fast as possible. Now, the normal way to do this is through something called port forwarding, but that can be kind of sketchy, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So instead, we're going to use a free open source alternative called Tailscale, which is a VPN service. Just for the record, this video is not sponsored. All you need to do is download Tailscale, sign in, and connect your device. You should get redirected to this dashboard showing you the machines that you have connected to Tailscale. Each device that you want to use on your Jellyfin media server away from your home network needs to be connected through Tailscale. So for example, I got the Tailscale app on my phone, logged in, and connected my device. It should now appear in your machines list on Tailscale. That is actually it. Now, instead of using your local IPv4 address to connect to your Jellyfin server, just use the address that Tailscale provides you for the machine that you have your Jellyfin media server on, followed by :8096. Congratulations, because you now have a media server that you can access anywhere you want. Last month, I decided to ditch streaming services entirely and set up my own personal media server. And here's how you can too. I'm using a totally free and open source application called Jellyfin to do this, so that's what we're going to use for this video. To keep this nice and tidy, I'm going to split this into two videos. One showing you how to set up your media server, and another video showing you how to add media to it. Be sure to favorite this video so you can come back to it later. To start off, go onto the Jellyfin website and download the .exe for the system that you want to run your media server on. I'm using a laptop here, so I'm going to choose this option. Go ahead and go through the install process. It's the same for like every application. When you're done, go to your search bar, type in Jellyfin, and open up the Jellyfin Tray app. Now click the arrow on the bottom right of your screen, right-click the Jellyfin app icon, and click Open Jellyfin. This will automatically load up your Jellyfin server in your web browser, and it should let you go through the server setup process. At one point, you'll reach this screen where you can set up your media libraries. Each type of media should be confined to a specific library. So for example, if I want to add movies to my media library, I'll click Add Media Library, then select the content type as movies, and then select the folder on my computer where I want to store all of my movies. If you have a separate hard drive that you want to add your media to, create this folder on that drive. And if you want to add TV shows, music, etc., it's the same idea. Now you can continue through the setup process. I'm just going to leave everything as default, and that's it. You can sign into your media server and see the libraries that you just set up, which have nothing in them because that's going to be the next video. So be sure to follow for more. I decided to completely ditch streaming services and start my own personal media server. And last video, I promised that I would show you how to add whatever media you want to it. I'm going to try to explain this as simple as possible, so be sure to favorite this video so you can come back to it later. Now, some of you may plan on just downloading media online. Do whatever you want, but I'm not going to tell you to do that. Instead, I'm going to show you how to rip your own physical media at lossless quality using a free application called MakeMKV, along with a disk drive that's compatible with whatever media you're ripping. Go ahead and grab MakeMKV from their website and load it up. If you're met with this error, just turn your computer's date back 1 month. I'll post a new beta key for this message on my story when it finally releases. Once it's ready to go, click on Preferences, then go to the I/O tab and change the read retry count to 40 and click Apply. Now drop in whatever movie or show you're trying to rip and click on this big button. This will begin opening the disk, and when it's done, you'll be brought to this screen. Before explaining what all this stuff is, click on this folder icon. Then create a folder named after the media you're ripping inside of the correct media library folder. So for example, if I was ripping a movie like Alien, I would go into my movies folder and create a new folder named Alien and select that. If I was ripping a TV show like Scrubs, I would go into my TV shows folder, create a new folder named Scrubs, then inside of that folder, create another folder and name it the season number that's on the disc and select that. Now back on this menu, you'll see a list of different video files that Make MKV has identified on the disc. These can be your movie, TV show episodes, behind the scenes content, etc. All you need to do is find the movie or TV show episodes you're looking for. This is usually easy to do if you just look at the duration of each listing, leave the stuff you want checked, uncheck anything you don't want to rip, and when you're ready to go, click this button to begin. When it's done, your video files will be in the folder that you chose to put them in. Just a heads up, if you're ripping TV show episodes, be sure to rename each episode in this naming style. But that is everything. Now you can load up your Jellyfin server, go to your dashboard settings, and scan your media libraries for new content. By the way, if you want to access your media server on devices like your phone, open up command prompt on your media server, enter ipconfig, and look for your IPv4 address. Then on the Jellyfin app or a web browser, type in your IPv4 address followed by :8096, and you should be good to go. If you like this video, be sure to follow for more. 1 month ago, I showed you how to create your own personal media server, but now there's only one thing left to do. This is what's called a network attached storage, or NAS for short. Think of it as a Google Drive that can go up to 120 terabytes of storage, but without the subscription. Ugreen actually sent this one out to me to show off. This is their DH4300 Plus model. And I know that looking at something like this might seem intimidating to set up, but I'm actually convinced that if you sat a child in front of the setup screen, they could do it. So as you know, I run my own Jellyfin media server, but that requires my computer to be on anytime I want to access my media. A NAS, however, is designed to stay on. So if you have a Jellyfin server like I do, you can just reinstall it on here and transfer your stuff over your network. And it's not just for Jellyfin either. If you want to manage and store files, normal videos, music, well, you can. And you can access them in the Video Center and Album Assistant that Ugreen NASs come with, along with on any device like your phone, anywhere you want. You can just touch your phone to your Ugreen NAS to get set up via NFC. And if you need subtitles, well, you can use, search, and download them easily. There is an awesome amount of more stuff that I really want to talk about, but for now, I finally have a private storage device that I can access whenever and wherever I want. And you can get 20% off if you use this code in the link in my bio. These past few months, I've shown you how to completely set up your own personal Jellyfin media server. But today, I'm going to show you how to make it a little more interesting. So easily, one of the coolest things about Jellyfin is that it supports plugins and custom CSS, meaning we can add an entirely new theme, featured media bar like other streaming services have, a dedicated skip intro button for your TV shows, and a lot more. Here is what the baseline Jellyfin media player app looks like. But watch this. Settings, display, copy, paste, save. Boom. I just rethemed my entire media server right in front of you. And all I did was find a Jellyfin theme that I thought was cool, copy the CSS for it, and paste it into the custom CSS code box in my media server. And you can find a ton of these custom themes and plugins on the awesome Jellyfin GitHub. Here's another cool thing you could do. If you want this featured media showcase, all you gotta do is go to the File Transformation GitHub, copy this line, then click on the gear icon in the plugins catalog section on Jellyfin and paste it in the repository URL box. File Transformation will then show up in your plugins catalog ready to be installed. Then you just repeat those couple steps for the repository URL on the media bar GitHub. Do you want a skip intro button for your TV shows? It's the same exact idea. Intro skipper GitHub, copy, paste, install, done. By the way, this UI that everyone constantly asks me about is just how the SwiftFin app on Apple TVs natively looks. If only Netflix let you do this stuff. If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. Whether or not you agree with that quote, the chances of you having watched some kind of pirated material is practically guaranteed. But before you run to the comments, this is Silent Hill 2 for the PS2, the original version that came out 24 years ago. I paid $150 for this game that you can't legally play unless you buy a copy like I did. There's no legal way to purchase a digital version of this game, and the money that I spent on this physical version will never be seen by its publisher. Just from that alone, you can understand why people justify piracy. Here is a movie I really like, My Hero Academia: Heroes Rising. When I bought the physical version of this movie, it came with a code that gave me a digital copy through Funimation. But if you know anything about Funimation, you would know that they merged with Crunchyroll back in 2024. And as far as I'm aware now, the digital version of this movie that I paid for just doesn't exist anymore. Which leaves me with 3 options. 1, I buy a digital version of this movie that I already paid for a digital copy for, then risk losing that one too. 2, I pirate the film. Or 3, I circumvent the copy protection on the disc and break the end user license agreement by ripping it myself. Great options, huh? I don't think it's a coincidence why so many people are interested in creating their own Jellyfin media server. And how could you not be? What with platforms like Hulu offering a no ads subscription plan that will show you ads anyway, or paying for multiple streaming platforms just to watch a couple of shows that they like. People are tired of paying for subscriptions and digital media that can be revoked at any time. We live in an age where every year you own less and less. So it's not at all surprising why there's been such a big nostalgia kick these last couple of years. Or why Battlefield 6 is praised for actually having the full game on the disc. I'm not saying piracy is good. It's still against the law. But what I am saying is that you can't keep pushing the consumer down and expect them to not do anything about it.